John Homan speaking with Mark Imhoff, the men's head basketball coach at Johnny Logan College. And Mark, you have a new signing to announce for this summer, and he is LaTroy Taylor, who is a point guard transferring to Logan from Indian Hills College in Ottumwa, Iowa.
Absolutely, John. We had to fill a pretty important void there. Obviously, last year we were in a situation where we lost Trey Kramer and went home in October, and then Parfait, we had let Parfait go in December. So we were kind of handed all the duties at the point position to Matt Smith-Peters, who certainly did a great job for us and did what we expected him to do. And then we run into a snag there when he burns his hand and is out for a few games, and then we kind of were forced to rely upon Nathan Butler to run the point for us, and Nate did a terrific job. It just that was not his position, and I'm not sure that him being at the point was what made us best, but certainly Nate did a great job in picking up the slack where we needed it. So obviously we had a pretty good void to fill there, and LaTroy is a young man. It's 6'1", 208 pounds. Comes from Gary, Indiana, and is a transfer. So obviously has a year under his belt at the junior college level from Indian Hills Community College in Iowa. So going into this thing, I kind of in my mind had a desire to get someone that was a transfer with a year's maturity physically and a year under their belt at the college level. And I think that without any question, Troy can come in and help us immediately.
We saw how that experience can pay dividends as it did last year in the case of a Matt Smith-Peters, in the case of a Connell Crossland, and so when you have a young man who transfers in, that experience, especially when you get to the conference games, really does really pay off for your ball club.
It certainly does, and one of the things it just. It goes without saying, a young man coming to us directly from high school inevitably has a transition period, whether it be from a physical perspective, from a mental perspective. The junior college game is a grind. It's a very intense, in your face brand of basketball. It's a pretty physical brand of basketball. Someone coming directly out of high school goes from, maybe practicing basketball beginning in September or probably October till the end of February, and our season stretches just almost 6 months. So the length of the season is different, and the grind and the level of competition that they see night in and night out. It is without question a transition period, and anytime we have an opportunity where a young man's had a year under his belt, facing all those obstacles, I think it's a plus for us. Now, granted, we've certainly got a couple freshmen to go with him, but we've got 5 guys back, and then LaTroy makes 6 that are guys that have been under the gun before, so to speak, and just the experience and the transition thought is kind of taken care of with those guys.
And as far as in addition to his experience, what do you like about Taylor's game?
Well, like I said, we had a big void to fill in terms of somebody, who is a point guard, and I think that's a vital position. We last year we kind of, outside of Matthew, who was just a distributor kind of point guard, we kind of made do, so to speak, with some guys that were able to, carry out those responsibilities, but weren't necessarily true point guards. LaTroy comes to us as a true point guard. He's got obviously at 208 pounds, he's got some strength, and he has played at the college level for a year. He, I think, brings some intensity at both ends of the floor. and obviously from a physical perspective, the bump and grind and physicality of the game shouldn't be an issue for him. So there's a lot of things that he brings as a year older and a year stronger and a year more experience.
John Holman speaking with Mark Imhoff, the men's basketball coach at Johnny Logan College. And Mark, you have another signing to announce, Taiwan Pinckney out of Chicago Simeon High School.
We do, John, and Taiwan is another point guard that obviously you and I have talked and was certainly a void we needed to fill. With LaTroy Taylor coming in as a transfer from Indian Hills, it gives us, a little balance in terms of our point situations, with Taiwan coming in, straight out of high school from Simeon, but with very extremely valuable experience. He started at the point for 3 years at Simeon, and the last 2 years they've been a large school state champion. So he has obviously been a part of a very successful program, one that has sent us some pretty good players, and the fact that he's been in such a tradition-rich program and a success that they've had there, and being this back-to-back large school state champs, and certainly speaks for the experiences he's had prior to coming to here. So we hope that we have been fortunate to land someone that it's a winner, and he is kind of a quarterback kind of point guard. So he probably brings a little bit different look than LaTroy does, but certainly coming out of that program and the fact that he has experienced a substantial amount of success, we're expecting good things from him.
At 6 foot, 165 pounds, like you said, he's going to be kind of a floor general for you, but he's also going to try to make that transition. As you pointed out many times, it's never easy for a high school senior to transition into the college game, and he'll have to get used to that grind of the college season. But clearly his pedigree is pretty good. Clearly that's a heck of a program, and he would have, I guess, learned a little bit from Lazarick Jones, who would have been his predecessor at the point.
Well, actually, I'm sure they were there at the same time. I don't know how much, at that time, that Taiwan played, but, that, as we've discussed, that program is, they have had some terrific players and continue to have terrific players, and I would, without any question, suspect that coming up in the next school year that you'll see Simeon again back at the top of the heap in the state of Illinois. So the fact that he was able to get quality minutes on the floor in that program for 3 years is good experience coming in. Maybe a situation that will help his transition. Coach Smith at Simeon does a great job in preparing those young men to move on and play at the college level. They have been, they do meet some rather stringent demands when it comes to the approach of the game of basketball. So we're hoping that that's of value to help him make this transition with a little ease.
Now that you've landed second point guard, and there'll be some other positions you're going to be targeting, and you're not done with your recruiting by any means.
No, we still got a couple to go, and we need another guy that can. We need a little beef, to be honest with you, that can add some scoring punch inside for us. And we've still got about 7 weeks left before school starts, so obviously we've got some time for that to happen. And you never know in our game when something may shake loose. So we're hoping that somewhere here in the next 7 weeks we can come up with somebody that will bring some strength and scoring to the inside game.